Good to go. I want to start with a shout out to Coach Dalby. Men's soccer, huge road win yesterday. Awesome to see. Congratulations to them. Obviously, we're trying to do the same thing, get a road win this weekend. Just watching the tape off of San Diego State, talked about some things after the game. But offensively, felt like, we left a little meat on the bone in regards to some positive drives that didn't finish with touchdowns. Penalty came early that got us out of that. / we were, second down, we got an opportunity to move the ball into the deep in the red zone. We're not on the same page in the past game. So there's just a couple of things like that throughout the day that left some points out there. Defensively, I did think we tackled well defensively, squeezing the pocket, obviously with the sack production. Still some things to clean up, and busting coverage, created some explosive. Special teams wise, really all four phases, a couple things we could have done, but ultimately, kickoff coverage, they got one out on us that we got to tighten up. We kicked the ball out of bounds. I did think Atticus's early field goals, momentum-wise, was huge, so that was nice to see. And so we're going to have to clean up some things headed into, game one of a conference schedule that is going to be competitive. I mean, there's some good football getting played in this league. Challenging start for us here on the road against a team that's playing with a lot of confidence. Got some good players, schematics, got a bunch of respect for Coach Dickert, that program, what they've done and where they're at. Really in all phases. Starts again, reoccurring thing quarterback-wise. Play a tough quarterback here. I think he's playing at a high level. He's played a lot in that scheme, can create, extend. They got explosive players on the outside. It's a challenging scheme when you got a quarterback with that type of talent. Defensively, starts at the line of scrimmage. They can rush the passer as good as really anybody in this league with those guys on the edge. Challenging in the run game, pressure oriented. So, and then you throw in a home crowd that anticipating is going to be jumping. It's always a good atmosphere over there in Pullman that makes it a really tough place to play.
You've played 3 games now. You know quite a bit about your team. What don't you know about your team that you'd like to know?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, you're always going to learn each week. Again, these games are going to get highly competitive, and so the back and forth and how we handle adversity. We had a little bit of it last week, so we got to find that out. And again, each game's going to be different. How that adversity comes. Again, I like a lot after 3 games of what we've got, but curious to see if we can still stay in this constant state of improvement week in and week out, because it's still a long season ahead of us.
You've got players on this roster that played in the 2019 game and the 2021 game in Pullman. Both were last-second losses. How much do you think some of those guys remember that, carry that with them? Maybe as they're preparing for this week, does it help, or is that not?
I think it does help. I think they do carry it, and they recognize how tough it is to win up there, how close we were at those 2 games, but they know the serious challenge that we're headed toward.
Jake Dickert's been real vocal and real public about the Power 5 situation, the situation both schools you're in. You've kind of chosen to take the other path and not say much of anything. Why is that?
We again focused at the task at hand, what is right in front of it. I'll totally agree with Coach Dickert in regards to the Oregon State and Washington State competing at the highest level. I think there's a proven product, not just in football, but in all sports, that both universities' programs have competed at the highest level, had serious success, and that should continue.
The running game for you guys has been a little bit feast or famine early in the season. Do you see any reasons for this inconsistency so far?
I don't know, when you run the ball, you're not going to always rip off 10, 12 play gains. We've been pleased with a lot of the explosiveness. Again, people know our identity. We're going to try to make the game physical, and so we run into some defense trying to take that away. So it's not going to be overly every snap successful. So we're not down on that part at all, but we also need to maintain it.
You spoke about Ward a little bit earlier. Could you elaborate on what makes him such a dangerous quarterback for them in their system?
Understands the scheme. accurate, can get the ball out quickly, can change his arm angle. He's elusive, extending the play. He's not small. This guy's over 200 pounds. He's not easy to bring down. So you throw all that together, it's tough to defend.
You know, last season you guys were able to really contain Ward here at Reeser Stadium. I know the numbers get over 300 yards passing, but a lot of that was bloated. He threw less than 50% of his passes completed. What's your guys' biggest concern this season against Washington State, especially with what we're seeing from Ward and the wide receiving core so early on and what they've been able to do against the opponents they face?
Yeah, concerning the explosiveness, trying to find ways to limit the explosive plays, the tempo they play at. I think it's even quicker than what they were doing last year, getting back on the ball and getting it snapped. So we got to be able to get lined up, have our eyes right. Those two stand out to me.
I know that against San Diego State, I think this was the first season we saw the DB core get kind of challenged in the passing game. Obviously, a potentially even tougher challenge this week. Is there any concern that the DBs are really going to have to step up this week, or that there's going to have to be a change in scheme or schematics about how you're going to be able to limit them and make sure the DBs have the best success possible for them?
Yeah, it's going to be critical that those guys play well because they will get challenged. I mean, they throw the ball. It's not just defending the pass. We got to get guys on the ground. We got to tackle in space well because they create it with the style of play they have. And so each week, different offense can have different challenges. Feel confident these guys will put in a good week of work and let it rip on Saturday.
Is Washington State's defense anywhere similar to what you saw San Diego State's defense do? And if so, was it a good warm-up then?
I think there's some similarities because, again, they make it difficult at the line of scrimmage, both defenses. They're physical that way. The scheme's a little different in regards to what San Diego State does, Washington State does. Both of them do well against the run, create tackles for loss, havoc in the backfield, so they're similar there.
And the Joshua Gray play, is that something you can only pull out once a year?
Well, we'll find out. We've been working on it for a while and felt like we get that close to the goal line, the type of coverage we get, he'd be standing there by himself if we could get it executed, and we did.
What sort of similarities does Ward have with Cordero and the San Diego State quarterback? Are they similar in style? And how much does that help you having played those two already?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, they are similar because they can extend the play. The offensive schemes are different. I think Washington State's scheme is set for an open space, an athletic quarterback that can extend it, get the ball out so quick, change his arm angle. Where San Jose / San Diego State, their scheme's a little bit different, but all three are really effective quarterbacks.
Some player availability things. Tongue, is he?
Yeah, that one probably will not be back this year. I say probably, he will not.
It was left legs.
Yeah, his leg.
Irish.
Hopeful. He moved around a little bit more. Leading into the game, wasn't available, but we feel like he's got a chance this weekend.
And then Miller, is he?
Same. Hopeful for this weekend if he keeps on feeling good.
What Olu, the defensive end, is he not?
No, not down on Olu. He's just got a couple guys in front of him that are playing at a high level. So we're trying to mix him in if we can on special teams a little bit. He's ready to go. No injury issue there. He's just got, like I said, a guy or two in front of him.
And then Mason Tafag, is he?
Practice? No, he's not healthy yet.
Not healthy.
And so, yeah.
Okay. And then Cooper, is there anything?
Hopefully by the weekend he's feeling better. He got a small ding, finished the game, but yeah, we're optimistic on him.
Coach, I know obviously every win is important for a football team. Obviously, a team needs to win to be able to have a chance to make the college football playoffs, the Pac-12 championship, all that stuff. But do you think this game against Washington State is more meaningful for both programs, both Washington State and Oregon State, considering that you two are the last two programs that have decided to stick with the Pac-12, and you feel like, there's more meaning behind this game between both of you, considering that I feel like both programs want to show the nation, the world, that you guys deserve to be at the top, be with the rest of the teams that are being considered as the best teams across the nation right now?
I think the meaning is really game one of conference play. You want to get off to a good start. I'm confident to say I think both programs will play high-level football for the entire season. I know it's going to be competitive over there, and obviously, we're trying to win the game. So those are the kind of things I think about.
do we expect to see maybe more of DJ being in action? I know he obviously had some struggles this past week against San Diego State. How important do you think it's going to be for him to have a good game along with obviously a strong rushing attack with Damian Martinez if you guys want to get that win in Pullman, which we know in the past has been really tough to get wins for speed?
Yeah, it's always huge for your quarterback to play well and, put him in situations to really play well. And again, this defense is challenging. They ain't gonna be perfect. They create some issues for you, but definitely, you need your quarterback to play well to be able to win on the road.
Do you think you guys are going to have to win that turnover battle? Also, we know again that's important, but do you think you're going to need some of those?
Yeah,
turnovers?
it's big. I mean, I look at a couple of games, specifically Wisconsin game, Washington State did a great job getting a few takeaways, scored on defense, and that separated the game.
Coach, how, as a pair of edge rushers, Stone and Jackson, tell me a little bit about the problems they pose.
Yeah, the athletic, physical, talented pass rushers don't need to blitz and create those guys one-on-one matchups can be tough. I mean, those guys separated the game. Back to this Wisconsin thing, a sack cost fumble, the other one picks it up for a touchdown, and you know what you're getting out there on the edge. And like I say, the ability to create pressure on a quarterback when you don't have to blitz is huge for a defense that they've got.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.